Assalamu alaikum student. Dr. Naveed Shahat, your course instructor is here. Today this is our 31st lecture. In this lecture we will talk about gene therapy. What is gene therapy? Gene therapy is actually an approach for treating diseases by either modifying expression of individual genes or correction of abnormal genes. This can be accomplished by replacing a mutated gene that causes disease with a healthy copy of the gene. In other case, inactivating or knocking out a mutated gene that is functioning improperly. Introducing a new gene into the body to help fight a disease. The first gene therapy was actually done in 1990 in USA. This was the first approved gene therapy. Experiment occurred on September 14, 1990 in USA. When Ashanti De Silva was treated for ADA skid disease. What is ADA skid disease? Student, we will discuss in coming slides about ADA skid. Type of gene therapy. There are two types of gene therapy: somatic cell gene therapy and germ cell gene therapy. How these two types are different? In case of somatic cell gene therapy, therapeutic genes transferred into the somatic cells. You know, an organism body is actually most of the cells are the somatic cells. Cells other than the germ cells are called somatic cells. For example, introduction of the genes into the bone marrow cells, blood cells and skin cells. This therapy is called somatic cell gene therapy. This type of therapy will not be inherited in later generations because it is actually targeting somatic cells. So somatic cells are not involved in gamete formation or in fertilization, so it is not inherited. At present, all researchers directed to correct genetic defects in somatic cells. This is comparatively easy gene therapy. Other type is the germ cell gene therapy. In germ cell gene therapy, therapeutic genes transferred into the germ cells. For example, genes introduced into the eggs and sperms. So, what do you think? It is a inherited or not? Yes, it is inherited and passed on to the next generations. For safety, ethical and technical reasons, it is not being attempted at present. Student, here I want to share about the diseases. As we know, some diseases are the monogenic disease and some diseases are the multifactorial disease are multigenic disease. So if we are going to adopt gene therapy, then we will have to see the defective gene or genetic disease is basically monogenic or multigenic. If it is monogenic, then gene therapy is effective for this disease, otherwise not. In monogenic disease result from modification in a single gene occurring in all cells of the body. So in this case, a healthy gene will be introduced. What are the example of monogenic disease? Like hemophilia disease and cystic fibrosis. These both diseases are the monogenic diseases. In case of multifactorial disease or multiple gene disease, the gene therapy is not effective. So in this case, there is a interaction between more than one gene, like gene A, gene B, gene C. So very difficult to replace all these genes same time for a single disease. Other is the environmental factor, like infections, diet, and lack of exercise. What are the multifactorial or multigenic diseases? Like diabetes, cancer, AIDS. These are all the multifactorial diseases. So our gene therapy is effective for monogenic diseases. This is overall view of the somatic cell gene therapy. There are two types of somatic cell gene therapy. One is the in vivo gene therapy, which is also called direct gene therapy, while other is the ex vivo gene therapy. It is indirect gene therapy. In case of in vivo gene therapy, therapeutic gene is introduced into the plasmid. Then therapeutical gene is packed into a delivery vehicle such as a retrovirus. Retrovirus then cause infection on to the human, but this is not a so much serious kind of the infection. During infection, retrovirus will introduce our desired gene onto the target cell. Suppose we say we want to introduce a healthy gene in the organ like liver. So by using retroviruses we can introduce desired gene. This is the direct delivery of the gene, or in other words, in vivo gene therapy. In case of the ex vivo gene therapy, therapeutical gene introduced into the vector, into the plasmid, then plasmid introduced into the retroviruses, as in case of in vivo gene therapy. But what is difference in these both two types? In case of ex vivo gene therapy, we collect adult stem cells from the patient and culture into the laboratory. During culturing, we will introduce desired gene by the infection of retrovirus. After the infection, retrovirus will introduce our desired gene into the target cells, which are the stem cells. Then after manipulation, after culturing these stem cells, will again reintroduce into the patient. So this is called indirect gene therapy. Example of ex vivo gene therapy First gene therapy to correct deficiency of enzyme adenosine deaminase, which is ADA, and this therapy was performed on a 4-year-old girl, Ashanti De Silva, who was suffering from SCID. SCID stand for severe combined immunodeficiency. This disease is actually because of the abnormal behavior of adenosine deaminase due to the defective gene of ADA, caused due to the defect in the gene coding for ADA. So what happened in this disease? Deoxyadenosine accumulate and destroy T lymphocytes, and then these deoxyadenosines will disrupt immunity, suffer from infectious diseases, and die at the young age. So this is a respiratory disease, SCID, caused due to the defect in the ADA. This is the ex vivo gene therapy. In this case, bacterium carrying plasmid with the cloned normal human ADA gene. Then this gene will be picked up by the retrovirus. This is a genetically disabled type of the retrovirus, cannot cause disease, just to attack on the human. This disabled retrovirus will take genetic material from the bacteria having our desired gene. Then retrovirus will infect the T cell, transfer ADA gene to the cells. In this case, this is indirect approach, because we use stem cells outside the body into the laboratory. Then these cells having healthy gene for ADA will introduce into the will introduce into the organism, like human is here, so will introduce into the human. Then genetically altered cells are implanted, produce ADA. Other type is in vivo gene therapy. This is direct delivery of the therapeutical gene into the target cell into the patient body, carried out by the viral or non-viral vector system. It can be only possible option in the patient where individual cells cannot be cultured in vitro in sufficient numbers, for example brain cells. In vivo gene transfer is necessary when cultured cells cannot be re-implanted in patient effectively. Example of in vivo gene therapy is actually CFTR disease in patient with cystic fibrosis. A protein called cystic fibrosis transmembrane regulator, CFTR, is absent due to a gene defect. In the absence of CFTR, chloride ions concentrate within the cells, and it draws water from the surrounding. This leads to accumulation of sticky mucus in respiratory tract and lungs. This disease is treated by in vivo replacement of defective genes by adenovirus vector. Vectors used for gene therapy. To transfer desired gene into a target cell, a carrier is required. Such vehicles of the gene delivery are known as vectors. Two main classes of vector use. First is a viral vector, other is a non-viral vector. Which vector we can say a ideal vector? A ideal vector should target the right cells, should integrate gene into the cells, then activate the gene, avoid harmful side effects. No universal vector exists. So with all these features, vector is called ideal vector or good vector, but we will have to maintain or develop a vector artificially, because no universal vector with these feature available. What are the viral vectors? First vector is the retrovirus vector system. The recombinant retroviruses have ability to integrate into the host genome in a stable fashion. A retrovirus vector can carry a DNA of size less than 3.4 kb. Their replication is defective. These are the virus particles, and their target cells are actually dividing cells. These vectors target the dividing cells. Other type is the adenovirus vector. Adenovirus vector with the DNA genome. These vectors are good vectors, and their target is non-dividing human cells. Example of these adenovirus vector is a common cold adenovirus. Third type is adeno associated virus vector. It is a human virus that can integrate into chromosome number 19. It is a single stranded non-pathogenic small DNA virus. Adeno associated virus enter host cell, becomes double stranded, and gets integrated into chromosome. Fourth type is the herpes simplex virus vector. These viruses, which have a natural tendency to infect a particular type of the cell, they infect and persist in nervous cells or nerve cells. These are four types of the viral vectors. Next is the non-viral vector. Non-viral vectors mean not related to the virus, but have any kind of the material or substrate used as a vector. First is a pure DNA construct. Direct introduction of the pure DNA construct into the target tissue. Efficiency of DNA uptake by cells and expression is very low. So consequently, large quantities of DNA have to be injected periodically, have to be inserted in different times, so that their efficiency can be improved. Other is a lipoplexes. Lipoplexes is actually complex of lipid and DNA. Lipid DNA complexes. DNA construct surrounded by artificial lipid layer. DNA coated with artificial lipid layers. Most of it gets degraded by lysosomes. So this is the disadvantage of lipoplexes. Third type is DNA molecular conjugates. Commonly used synthetic conjugates is poly L lysine bound to specific target cell receptors. Therapeutical DNA is then made to combine with the conjugate to form a complex. It avoids lysosomal breakdown of the DNA, which was the disadvantage of the previous method, previous vector. Fourth one vector is human artificial chromosome. This artificial chromosome can carry a large DNA, that is with one or more therapeutic genes with regulatory elements. There are few advantages of viral vectors, like target specific types of the cells. They are very good at targeting and entering cells. They can be modified so that they cannot replicate and destroy cells. But there are few disadvantages of viral vectors. What are the disadvantages? They can cause immune responses in patients. They can carry a limited amount of the genetic material. Therefore, some genes may be too good to fit into some viruses. So, student, this is all about gene therapy, types of gene therapies, and vector system to carry the gene.